Hello everybody! Today I want to talk about my notebook setup. I'm extremely excited to talk about this, like inappropriately excited to talk about this because I love my notebooks. As a matter of fact, I love anything that has to do with school supplies, stationery, all of the above. Like I have an unhealthy obsession. By unhealthy obsession, I mean I cannot control myself. Like I cannot. If I go into Staples, Office Depot, or the worst of them all, Amazon, like I have to purchase school supplies, and notebooks are like top of the pyramid, like the sweetest candy. I want to get this video out like right now because fall semester 2017 is about to start, and if you want these notebooks, if you like these notebooks, you have to order online. You can also purchase them through Amazon. So without further ado, these are my notebooks. I literally love these notebooks. These are by Levenger. They're the Circa series disc bound notebooks. I love these notebooks. They have transformed me as a student. Because of these notebooks, I am able to be organized. I always know where all my stuff is at. I want to apologize if my eyes look a little weird. I had LASIK surgery 5 days ago, but I really want to get this video out because I feel like having an organized notebook is really important, and fall semester is about to start soon. Okay, so side story. So before I used to have regular notebooks and I hated it. I have like OCD. My notes have to be perfect. I cannot use pens at all. Like at all. If I mess up on a pen and I cannot erase it, I will literally rip the entire page out. And even if I get to the very bottom of my page and I still mess up with pen, I will still rip the page out, which is why I only write with pencils and Frixion pens. I don't know if you know about them. They're thebomb.com. I will be having a video on them very shortly. But here's another thing. I like my stuff to be in order. I want chapter 3 to be with chapter 3. I want chapter 4 to be with chapter 4. I want Kirchhoff's Law stuff to be with Kirchhoff's Law, and I want Gauss to have his own section, hopefully in the corner because I hate that guy. So that was the problem right there. When I got to college, not being able to move my pages around was so frustrating because teachers are not all the same. Sometimes you have very organized teachers, and God bless them. Like if you're an organized teacher out there, I literally love you. But a lot of teachers are not organized. Some teachers are very erratic, and then suddenly 2 weeks later, right before the test, they'll be like, oh, I totally forgot to talk to you guys about this topic on Gauss's Law, and yeah, it's going to be on the test in 2 days. And so here we go, writing all these notes down about Gauss's Law, but guess what? I can't put it with Gauss's Law because Gauss's Law was 2 weeks ago. I can't magically put pages back into my spiral notebook. Great. So yeah, that literally sucked. That would literally drive me crazy. I would be cursing out the teacher in my head because my OCD is like, I can't deal. So yeah, cool. I fixed that situation. I got a binder. You know, I mean, that's the next step up. And the binder was pretty good. I liked it. I used the binder most of the semesters. You know, like I could take the pages out, I could put it back in. But the sucky thing about binders is that a lot of times the pages rip out, or they're very, very bulky. They're very uncomfortable. They're not like an actual notebook is very comfortable to write in, but binders are not. The whole little triangle end part, like when you folded that triangle end part, I just do not like that part. I didn't like how I would put it in my book bag and all my stuff would be sideways when I was walking with my book bag because the binder triangle part would make all the stuff in my book bag discombobulated. I didn't like that. So in physics 2, my friend Sarah introduced me to a new type of notebook, a disc bound notebook, and more specifically it was the Arc by Staples notebook. So yeah, this is the first notebook she introduced me, and let me tell you, this girl changed my life. I freaking loved this notebook. Like I loved it. Shout out to Sarah. She's a mechanical engineering student and she is like super smart. Love that girl. The notebook was awesome. You know, I was able to move my pages around. Like I could fit the notebook in my book bag and nothing would be sideways because I didn't have the triangle from the binder, and everything was cool except for one thing. The Art by Staples paper sucked because I could not use my Frixion erasable pens. I hate highlighters. I do not like highlighters because I am not, like, I love my notebooks to be perfect, and if my highlighter line is not perfect, then I am like not happy. And the chances of my highlighter line being perfect are like very slim to none. The way I highlight is I write in different colored pens, and that's why I use Frixion colored pens, except for with the Staples system, their paper, I don't know what's in their paper, I don't know what it was, but whenever I would write with my erasable pen and I would erase, it would smudge everywhere, and I literally hated that. I love this notebook so much that I stuck with it like for an entire semester. and I only used pencil. It was awful. My notes were like boring. I had no color anywhere. So here I was on Amazon trying to find different type of Staples papers because it was like torture that I could not use my Frixion pens. I was looking for different type of paper, different type of material, but all the paper was the same. But while I was on Amazon, I was reading reviews on these other notebooks called Levenger, and these notebooks, according to the reviews, were smoother when you turn the pages. And I was just like, like there's a whole other disc-bound notebook out there. I had no idea. I googled Levenger and it turns out it's a website. So I went to their website and I was like literally shocked at how expensive they were. And I was just like, dang, like it looks like I'm gonna be having some boring notes because I'm not spending that much money on a notebook. And so for semester number 2, I continued on having boring notes. So then like the more I used my art notebooks, not only was I having boring notes, but I realized that the pages were not turning so smoothly. And it wasn't just with my one notebook. Like I had multiple notebooks and my pages were not turning smoothly. It was really bothering me. And so it stuck with me that I read on Amazon that the Levenger notebooks pages turned very smoothly. And so then, I don't know, my OCD kicked in and I was just like, no, like I can't deal with this. So I was just like, you know what? Like I'm gonna buy the notebook. I'm going to go buy the notebook. So I went onto the website and you know, the leather notebook there, the Staples one that my parents got me for Christmas, cost $20-something. And a leather one that's literally exactly the same, like exactly the same as the Arc by Staples notebook was $99. Like 4 times the price of my Arc by Staples notebook. And I was just like, ugh, I'm not gonna buy the leather one. So then I went and I found this other type of notebook. I found this notebook, which is not leather, but it feels amazing, and it was $49. So I decided I was gonna invest in it because I wanted to check it out and see what it was like. And like, let me tell you, the best decision ever. Not only do the pages turn perfectly smooth, like so smooth, the paper is amazing. Like I can write with my Frixion pens and I can erase with my Frixion pens. And so without further ado, I'm going to take you inside my notebooks. And so yes, these are my notebooks. I do realize that they're an investment, but I feel like they're a smart investment. I don't like how in spiral notebooks, once you're done using them, you get a new notebook. So if you only used half of those pages, the other half of those pages get wasted. However, with these notebooks, once you're done with the class, you can remove all the pages that you did use and you can keep the rest of the pages that are blank and start all over again. So it's an investment at first, but afterwards I feel like it's worth it. You know, everything is very organized. You're able to customize and keep everything in order how you would like to keep it. I mean, it's not bulky like a binder, and it's not wasteful like as a spiral notebook can be. Levenger notebooks are very similar to the Arc by Staples notebook, which is the first one I had, in the fact that they're disc-bound notebooks. And by disc-bound, I mean that there's 11 discs that hold the paper and the cover and the other in the back cover of this notebook. The cool thing about these notebooks is that they are flat, just like a notebook. However, you can still remove all the pages from them. Everything in this notebook comes apart and is completely customizable. For example, you can pull out this tab and put it back in. Now the tabs are a little bit harder to pull out because they are thicker plastic. Paper comes out a lot smoother. The fact that this notebook is smooth like a regular notebook, you know, I can just sit there and write on it like a regular notebook, is what I like about this notebook. And also I love the paper in this notebook. Now this is how I have my notebook set up. So this particular notebook is called the Circa Smooth Silver Notebook with Pockets. Now, all of the Levenger notebooks come in 2 sizes, a junior size and a letter size. This is the letter size. A junior size is about, I would say like this big, and it's more of like a planner style size, or maybe like of a journal, like you just want to take around and jot down notes. And a letter size is like your standard size of any regular school notebook that you would have, or computer paper. This notebook is not leather like my other purple notebook that I have. This notebook's a very smooth, plasticky material, and I actually like this notebook more than the leather notebook. I like it more because it's all one solid piece, and you'll understand more why when I show you the purple notebook. So now, this notebook did not come with these silver discs. The silver disc I purchased on my own separately. The first thing I have in my notebook is a syllabus. Now, I like to have the syllabus before I go to the first day of class. And 99% of the time, the teachers will give you access to the syllabus before class. Sometimes the teachers will print out the syllabus for you, but other times they won't. And just in case they don't print it out, I want to have it on my own so that whenever I have questions or whenever I want to jot down notes while the teacher's going through the syllabus, I can do it in that section of the syllabus. The other reason why I like to have the syllabus in the front of the notebook is because it has important dates. It tells you, the timetable of how the class is structured, when assignments are going to be due, and when to expect exams. So I like to have that. I always like to have access to that so that I can always reference and plan my days and my weeks accordingly. And then the most important part is the grading rubric. I like to have access to the grading rubric because it keeps me in check. I don't want to assume anything. I want to always know what the grading rubric is, because it's very easy to get mixed up when you have 4 or 5 classes. At the end, when it comes time to calculate your grade, you might have a surprise. So I like to have the grading rubric here so that I don't have any surprises, and I always know what's going on in class and what to expect with the grades that I earn. After the syllabus, I usually put handouts that the teacher gives. So any handout that the teacher gives, like in class exercise, I like to put it in the front, and I don't like to write in them. I don't like to write in them because I like to take them out and do them on my own. That way, when I'm done with them on another day, I can work on them again and not have the answers, and work on it again fresh and see how much I really learned on the subject. If you have the answers written down, it's really hard not to peek. And so then after exercises, I will usually keep my exams. It's not a 67, that's a 67 out of 70, just in case you were wondering. So I like to keep my exams, every single exam. When I'm done with it, I will literally remove the staple, hole punch it, and put it in my notebook. There's nothing like studying your previous exam for your final. Whenever it comes time for final, you want to study everything, and especially your exams. If you have a comprehensive final in that class, most likely it will be based off of the previous exams that you took. So now the next section in my notebook is always my notes. I like to put tabs for every single chapter in my notes. The tabs do make it easier, like when you're writing notes, like that you've left off here, and so this is where the next page of notes is going to go. But that's not really why I have the tabs. The biggest reason for why I have the tabs on my notebook with the chapters is because when I'm studying, I like to be able to jump to a certain chapter of notes quickly. If I'm looking for chapter 4, I can eliminate 3, 5, and 6 just because of this tab, and it automatically shortens the amount of time it takes to find something. So everything in my notebook is made to help me study faster. Studying more efficiently is the most important thing to me. So I have my notes in here, chapter by chapter. And then I have this page tab. Now, these are not dividers, these are called page tabs. And so now this is where I keep my homework. I always have my notes and my homework in the same notebook, but I like to have them separated. I like to have them separated because I find that it's easier. I feel like that's just what works for my brain. I like whenever I know that this side is for notes, this side is for homework. If I need to find something in my notes, I go to this side. If I need to find something in my homework, I go to this side. And so then I also have my homework tabbed up by the assignment that it is. So here I have my homework 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All of these little tabs that I use are just regular post-it little tabs. You can find them at Walmart, Staples, Office Depot, Amazon, and I just write on them with a regular permanent black marker. And so my next notebook is a hybrid. The cover and the back, the cover part and the back are actually the leather Arc by Staples notebook. Now, that's the only thing that's stapled. Everything else, from the discs to the divider to the tabs and the paper, is all Circa. Levenger has an exact same like notebook. I feel like this Arc by Staples notebook is literally a dupe for the Circa leather fold over notebook, except this one cost $22 and the Levenger one cost $99. Like, that's a really huge difference. So I was not about to fork out $99 for the leather notebook. I mean, aesthetically it's a lot nicer than the silver notebook from Levenger, but I was not going to buy $99 notebook when I have a dupe at home. Another thing is that my parents actually got me a purple and black leather Arc by Staples notebook for Christmas, because that was on my wish list before I even knew about Levenger. And I didn't just want to use these notebooks for 2 semesters and just put them away. I mean, they were a Christmas gift and I wanted to make use out of them. So, you know, as neurotic as I am, I'm like, nope, I'm not spending $99 on a notebook, and I'm not putting away my parents' Christmas gift just like that. So literally I like took out the cover and I compared them side by side, and I realized that the difference between this cover and this cover is that the space between the horizontal part of the hole is bigger than the space between the Staples one, but the actual holes, there was not that big of a difference. Now in the Staples paper, there's a very big difference between a hole size. There is a big difference between the Staples paper hole size and the Levenger Circa paper hole size, but between the covers there isn't. The only difference was the spacing in between the horizontal part of the holes. So what I did was, like a mad woman, I grabbed a bunch of the grittiest nail files that I can find, and I sat down while I watched Harry Potter with my husband and daughter, and I just like filed down each side until it was able to smoothly turn the discs. Now, I did notice that if I had bought silver discs for this notebook, I wouldn't have had to file it, because with the silver discs, it was able to slide smoothly. These plastic purple discs did not slide smoothly, so that's why I had to file it down. And so that's how I was able to use the covers that my mom got me for Christmas, and all I replaced essentially was the discs, and I was able to put in whatever paper I wanted. I want to do an side-by-side comparison of an Levenger Circa notebook and an Arc by Staples notebook, and I want you to see the reason why I ended up going with Levenger. The reason why I ended up going with Levenger is essentially because of the paper quality and because of the way the pages turn. For example, with an Arc notebook, you know, the pages don't turn as fluidly once you have a lot of pages at a time. They just, in my opinion, they don't turn as fluidly, and I do not like how they get stuck a little bit. You see how it's stuck a little bit? I don't like that about this notebook. But with the Levenger notebook, everything turns a lot more smoothly, like a lot more smoothly. Like you can easily turn all of the pages in this notebook without any problems at all. Everything turns flawlessly, and you don't have to worry about anything at all. Nothing gets caught at all, you know. Well, right now I just can't pick this up, but nothing gets caught at all in this notebook. Like everything turns flawlessly, and I feel like that to me is the difference. Like I absolutely love how flawless this notebook is. Another thing is, real reason why these notebooks, the Levenger notebooks, turn better than the Circa notebooks is the paper. This paper, I'll show you. This paper is not as thick as the Levenger paper, and the holes are not as big. So when you look at them side by side, maybe if you look at them on black, it'll be better on a black surface. When you look at them, you know, side by side, you can clearly see the difference in how the Levenger notebook holes are way bigger than the Staples notebook holes, and that is the difference here. I hope you've liked the notebook, and I hope you'll think about getting them, because I honestly think that they're worth it. I love how much of a better student I have become with these. Sometimes with other notebooks, if the system doesn't work well, if some things are disruptive and are not designed well, you know, it'll get frustrating and you won't keep up with it. But if you really enjoy the notebooks that you have, you like the way that they're designed, you like all of the features that the notebook has to offer, then you'll keep up with your notebook and you'll stay organized, and it's less likely of the chance that you will get frustrated and bored. And you don't want to get bored when you're taking notes. You don't want to be bored with the notebooks and the supplies that you're using, because having good supplies that you like and that you enjoy working with will make you a better note taker and will help you study longer. You're not going to want to study long if you're unorganized and your papers are falling apart and everything is sporadic and it's just not working well. So, I really hope that you enjoyed these notebooks. I hope that you will think about purchasing them. I understand that it's an investment at first, but I feel like it's a wise investment, especially if you're planning on going to college and then even grad school after that. I feel like these notebooks are hands down the best notebooks that I've tried, and I've tried a lot. I will have the links down below for every single product that I've talked about. I will have links for Levenger products that you can find on Amazon, and I'll have the Levenger links for their website. I suggest that if you have Amazon Prime, that you go on Amazon and see if you can buy your stuff on Amazon, because Amazon offers Prime shipping, which is free. However, with Levenger, they very rarely ever have free shipping, or you have to spend an exuberant amount of money to get free shipping. If you can, and if you have Prime, take advantage of Amazon and try and buy your stuff on Amazon, because most of the time it's the same exact price. If not, I've actually found that Amazon prices are $2 to $3 less than Levenger. So if you can get something for $2 to $3 less and you can skip the shipping charge, why not? Why not take advantage of that? So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I really hope that this helps you. It hurt a little bit to spend the amount of money that I spent on these notebooks, but at the same time, I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. I truly enjoy working with these notebooks in school every day. Just as a mechanic would have a good set of tools, you want to have a good set of tools when you're going to school, because when you're doing at school is work, and you want to enjoy your work and you want to be able to do it as fluidly as possible. And so, in my opinion, the disc-bound notebooks are the best type of notebooks. They beat spiral and binders by a lot. And out of the disc-bound systems, my favorite is the Levenger over the Arc by Staples, purely because of the quality of the paper and how fluid it is to turn the pages. So I hope you enjoyed the tour inside the pages of my notebook. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and please subscribe for more engineering and school related videos. See you in the next video. Bye!